This is the John Hallett Podcast with John Hallett.
Because the way we're living, we need to change it, make a change today, and all learn from failure. Maybe they just wanted it a little bit more than you. That's probably the fact.
And now your host, John Hallett.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you are staying on track. You know, that is always hard. There's always something, it seems like, getting in the way, oh, it's almost summer, so I should slack off or let something else get in the way. I know it's hard, but just staying on the path. You just got to keep grinding away, keep grinding. There's so much to any martial art, but just training more and really being safe is my thing. And if you're not doing it, man, I've done it for so long now, even just being off just a little bit, you start to notice that. And, the more limited your training is, you might not even realize how off you are. What are you doing over there, Josh?
I'm squaring myself up in the shot, man.
I got to get squared up in the shot.
That's all it is.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to have a heart attack. I don't know.
No, let's not even bring that one into the world right now, man.
You could have a heart attack?
Oh, I don't. Well, I mean, that's why I train here. So, I don't, right? I got to get the cardio in.
But, yeah, it's hard. It's not easy. None of this is easy. Who knows? Who knows, what the world's going to bring. We wanted to talk a little bit about that carjacking here in, peaceful suburbia Castle Rock for the most part. But bad things happen here, and there's plenty of drugged out people everywhere. I have the funniest guy that is called on the racist comments on our former coach, Jordy Mayo. Lost his stuff. What? You lost? It's on the internet, Josh. And, I've had a lot of people like, hey, thanks for not burying this and you're not ignoring it. Yeah. And, this is the crap that happened. It's damaged my reputation. I've got people calling me a racist because one of my coaches did something, and the whole guilt by association. I'm not ignoring it, Yeah. Hey, I mean, we're not going to plaster it all over, the homepage of the website or something, but no. We do have it on our social media. Part of me actually thinks I should probably put another thing out, because our daily messages and stuff out there bury that thing down there just because of the fact that we post, once or twice a day for something. So I think that's made it harder for some people to find our response, possibly. I mean, TikTok is the first thing, but that's where it's got a lot of traffic. I mean, it's getting close to one of the I Out Racists on X had 2 million or 3. What did you, I mean?
Last time I saw it was over 1 point something million. I thought it was like 1.7. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I looked at it yesterday. I thought it was in the 2s.
I might have gone up. But to your credit, man, you took those phone calls. You didn't hide from this.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of good people. There was a lot of people angry and going, well, the guy that said this stuff might have been angry or whatever. But, people were just so divided, and I was listening to something, I don't know on who, but maybe it was Tucker Carlson's stuff, but just they want to divide us. And racism is a great way to divide us. I talk to more people from around the country that have the same beliefs, that, doesn't matter your skin color. Oh, God, just ruined the whole podcast, Josh. So unprofessional.
I'm out.
So unprofessional. Sorry about that, guys. But anytime I can make fun of Josh, I will.
He doesn't miss a chance.
I will.
It's par for the course. It's par for the course.
If I didn't like you, I'm making fun of you.
People should know how stressful it is when you own a business and somebody does something that's stupid.
Well, we've been here for, in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
We've been here. This is going on the 19th year in Castle Rock.
Wow.
And, that's our reputation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't care where you are. We're not a national brand by any means, but it is when you're on YouTube and TikTok and anybody across the country is going to see it. I just wanted to talk to as many people as I can.
Yeah.
And try to connect with them. And, I had one woman on TikTok that was saying, essentially I was a racist as well. And I was trying to get her to get on the phone. And I've talked to a lot of nice people and connected and we're closer. And she just wanted that, I'm behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, you're still behind a screen.
Kind of like the keyboard.
We're not talking in person.
Yeah.
It's not like I invited you to Starbucks like I've done to people that want to comment our stuff here locally. And she didn't even want to get on a phone call. Like, that's what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with this country. And, there's so much. And, even the word, Bill said it today, like, be careful, John. Hitler united the country. Not what I'm saying, but we can take everything. And it's just so crazy. This world that we're living in is changing. This AI stuff is extremely scary.
Yeah.
Especially when you think this could be like a life form is being born.
Yeah.
And then you get some of these techie guys that are going, yeah, I could essentially become some sort of cyborg.
Right.
And I think that where I hadn't heard it, like you're a species, that I can even say it.
I've heard people say
that.
Yeah.
Is it really? I mean, these things are there's no curb on it. There's no stop.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the hell can happen.
You remember in Jurassic Park where Malcolm says, no one stopped to think we should do this, right? Everyone knew we could, but no one stopped to think if we should, right? And then it's the transhumanist movement, right? Becoming something different than human, adding technology to you. So Elon Musk just had a really successful test with Neuralink for a guy to be able to move stuff on a computer, right? And his next statement was, what if we got a bunch of Neuralinks to work down the spine so we connect his body in the same way?
Yeah.
And then at that point, you become cyborg.
Yeah. I mean, there's some great stuff to all of it. Yeah. There's great stuff to all of this stuff, but there's also the bad stuff. And that's the scary thing.
Right.
Of what are these guys creating and gals creating with this AI, and what could it do?
It's going to happen, right?
Well, you say it's going to happen. I mean, they're right now, nobody's putting any stops on it, and they're all racing like it's a nuclear arms race. And it could, talk about another thing we should get rid of.
My biggest worry is that governments do listen to AIs and do war games and stuff, and that scares me, right?
I mean, Joe Rogan was talking to somebody. He's got two different people, or there's two brothers that are really interesting, really on his podcast. Recently, they're an AI company, and they had some other guy talking about is this a simulation, the simulation theory.
Oh, God, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I said it to my wife. She's like, that's stupid. But I'm like, seriously, if, this will give Bill something to come back on me with, but what is God?
Ooh, you're touching this.
You start to look and you go, the odds can't be zero. The odds can't be zero. Is somebody up there running a simulation? Is this a simulation? What? I mean, this guy had some little things about glitches and how people's memories from Fruit Loops to the Berenstein. And I can't remember.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. All that, people remembering the guy in Tiananmen Square getting run over by the tank. And I'm like, I remember he got run over by the tank.
He didn't.
He didn't.
No, he stood there. But, I mean...
there's little glitches. That guy's super interesting, too. I forget what his name was. He was but my wife, I think maybe out of a little bit of, I don't even want to go there. A lot of times she doesn't even want to go there going, I don't know what's going on. And even what are you thinking about? You're talking. I'm running scenarios in my head.
Yeah.
I'm a guy.
Yeah. Always trying to think of it.
Pretty basic stuff there. I don't know. Like, women are just so different. But what is this guy's name?
I don't know. I'd like to think I'm not in a simulation, but I pay attention to like physics and some stuff. I'm not a physicist. I read it because I think it's interesting, not because I'm coming up with the next formula to travel time, right? And one of the things I read is that the further they try to look down beyond an atom for stuff in size, they start to see that either the universe is pixelated, just like a computer screen, or our technology is trying to take what it refers to as time, space, whatever, and is just creating a pixel in it. But the idea is that if everything comes down to a pixel, that means it's just some sort of image. And everything's just this image, and you might be in a simulation. And that's where they start getting that stuff from. And it freaks me out because it's like
Rizwan Verk, episode 2151.
Yeah.
That's it was interesting, but then there's the two. Did I have to go back on that one? Maybe no. And
they're programmers,
Jeremy and Eduardo Harris.
Yeah.
They're like Gladstone AI.
I've heard of them.
They were, I think they've been on before on Rogan. It was interesting stuff, but you go, if God's all knowing, all seeing,
all powerful,
how powerful, it's just interesting going, okay, so what's heaven? Is that the other side of the game? Are you in the Matrix?
Well, you've heard of
it's kind of, most people, you can't say zero. I'm not saying I completely agree with this guy and these theories, but you're going, it's kind of interesting because you're going, well, what if?
Well, God never said how he created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah,
he just created, said he did.
Yeah, it was all created, but holy crap.
How did he do it?
Well, if there's some civilization 1,000 years ahead of us, think how far we've come with our technology in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Imagine a civilization or a species 1,000 years or a million years ahead of us.
Yeah.
Did they create it? What would be the point? I don't know. Why do people play freaking video games?
Yeah.
Maybe we're like The Sims.
Yeah. Maybe we're just a planet where they put a bunch of animals on it to see what we do. And we're just we're
it's a simulation. Like, let's see what the hell.
We could be entertainment for all we know, right? Think of all the drama we create. Right?
We're reality TV for
aliens or our higher beings, but
who knows?
It freaks me out.
Yeah.
It was thinking about that stuff.
I was say?
I don't know.
I guess that was that. It's interesting stuff to think about. Oh, I was going to bring back up. Let's listen. So, racist.
Yeah.
Terrible. And, I grew up with all sorts of people. Nantucket was pretty eclectic. One of my football buddies, Luis Vieira, he just passed away recently. And he was Cape Verdean. And, there's people all over from Nantucket.
Yeah.
There was, everything.
Yeah.
And there's jackasses everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter your skin color. And there was so many people. It doesn't matter your skin color. We can't hold people to what happened or every white guy. There was a lot of angry, you're white or we did this. Like somebody, at some point, I'm going to forget who it was now. Darn it. I'm so bad at the show prep and with names, but going, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It doesn't matter your color. There's so many opportunities now. Oh, but you can't say that as a white guy.
Yeah.
And at some point, somebody's going to say it. You can't just, it's our whole suck less. Like stop being in the negative and being a victim. You got to choose what you want to choose. If you want to choose that every white guy's a racist, then that's what you're choosing. You got to look at the good in people.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good people that I talked to.
There were
a lot of scary people. A lot of scary people. I don't know if we talked about it in the podcast. There was that one gentleman
I will say
that said he wanted to rape the individual, and he hadn't raped somebody since prison. And I had, we're going to burn your building down, all sorts of stuff. We're going to come down there. And threatening. I'm like, well, hold on a second here. I'm welcoming you into my gym. If you want to come, you are welcome no matter what. But, we had several individuals that I'm like, you're starting to threaten me.
Yeah.
Do not threaten me with this. I am welcoming you into the gym. You're copping attitude on me. There's been no attitude like, yeah, sure, you're a black guy. Come on in. We're going to be doing some fighting this day.
Yeah.
No. So we had a lot of that. Yeah. And the one individual I really took serious about raping, I was like, whoa, this dude's,
that was a different.
We're getting plane tickets. We're going to shut your business down. You might as well pack your bags now. We're coming for you. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Not my comment.
Not us.
Some people, the majority I was able to get to come around. But, and that was, it was nice to really, to calm somebody down and go, look, this is where I'm coming from. This has damaged my business.
Yeah.
My reputation personally.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. But this guy, hopefully, I wish his connection was better. We'll see how well the podcast picks it up. The transcripts might be better, but I'm not sure. We're so low budget here and short on time. We don't have a big production run to run up like some other people with big Spotify money. Let's see. The transcript's really good. Maybe I'll read it to you guys after. Maybe is that the better way to do it?
Yeah, because you can control what you say. Like if there's anything.
He's like, it's funny because the Google bleeps out everything in the transcript, but it doesn't bleep it out in here. And I don't care. We're not like TikTok. This is what a guy said. We're reporting it. Oh, and I won't show it. I won't put it on the screen because his number's there. I don't want you guys calling him and getting all mad.
No doxing.
I want to call him and get him on the show. What did Josh
just read?
It's my show. Dude is freaking. This dude, I think, is just.
I can't handle these.
He cracked me up. So I'll get it closer to the mic. Let's see.
Okay.
These black folks name fighting by either y'all white y'all want the black man have. You stupid redneck. Yeah, your wife sucking a black right now.
Oh yeah.
Your daughter is too. Your grandmammy too.
And now this is his second voicemail. It goes to this next one here. 2 voicemails.
And your mama should have been beat for having a damn. Yeah, I know the black motherfucker be calling your white ass. Yeah, we know your ass. Redneck, hillbilly. Yeah, you white trash. Don't get jealous of us black folks. Cause y'all can't goddamn stay in the sun too long. Get by, die, and your mama too, bitch.
Guy just cracks me up. The whole thing cracks me up.
He just gave me like an hour's worth of extra work in 2 minutes. Here's the two things I took away from this, though, which really...
Hold on. Let me read it. And Google Translates was having a hard time on that. Listen how you read next, son of a... You white honky without... And they think it's pink. And then something... black folks' name. I don't know. The transcript's by... I told you... racist ass mouth. You talking, having, I don't know, something all white, honking, probably honky, so bad you all want the black man, but like the black man has, I think they messed that up in the transcript. You have stupid redneck, and it says hunting in this one, but I'm pretty sure he was saying, yeah, your wife's sucking a black man now, and your daughter is too, and my favorite line, and your grandmammy too. And then I think the transcript is messed up there. And then the second one, and your mama should have been beat the F up for, see, I bleeped that one out.
Thank you.
For having a damn effing ass, bitch ass. And it says universe here, but I'm not sure what he said. Like you. Yeah, I know the black, I think it's maybe. Been calling your wife honky ass, you redneck. And then they messed it up here, but then he messed up who he was being racist against, because he calls a white person a back. Yeah, we are on your ass, bitch, and yeah, we on your redneck hillbilly, you white trash. And then he's back onto your kids are probably now. Your grandmama, your mama, and your daddy on that one. He comes back to, now your dad is too. Don't get jealous of us black folks, because we all got, I think that what he was saying is we all got, this says themselves too long pocket. I think he said we can stay, I think it was something about we stay harder longer or something. And then bye, and your mama too. It just cracked me up. So, I mean, and not even the, I don't know, it was racist, obviously. And, you're upset, but is that a cause to it? I think it was more, I'm like, God, that guy's a comedian.
Oh, I don't even know if I'm going to have to put this as explicit. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's two of the things that I noticed when this went down is that people would call up and be just as racist back.
There was a segment, and it was smaller.
Yeah.
20%.
Which I thought was ironic because, I mean, if we're going to get rid of racism, don't use it for anybody, right?
Yes. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's not two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. So that was really, really odd. And the second is that I forgot what the second was because it took so long. But that they used racial slurs against you. And the other is the number of people that wanted to call who really didn't have any idea what most of it was about. They were just calling to vent. There was a lot of venting and frustration, it sounded like, in these people's voices. No,
not
way?
No, they were just more call to action.
Yeah.
Like a few of the TikTok were, call this business. And this guy said, most of the people were, do you know you have a racist employee? You know that this is out there. That was the majority. It was not venting.
Interesting. Okay.
It was, do you know? I'm like, yes, I know. And we had a couple Facebook things and the Twitter, whatever. We had a couple contact forms. We have one or two contact forms on our email.
Yeah.
And my wife had a text message from somebody here in town that saw it. So,
jeez,
that was we made the call then when we, that's when we called. And then it got worse as that Sunday, and that was the 19th.
Yeah, and you
I
guys
had to start changing things. So I was saying, hey, we fired that guy on Sunday, and I'm like, oh wait, it's Sunday now. They're going to think it just happened. But that did happen
last week. Yeah, as soon as it came to your guys' attention.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and you guys acted quickly
on the 19th.
I mean, it was that moment, and it was just really. I mean, you have to though. You have to respond. You got to pivot quickly because that's not what the gym is, right? It's amazing how fast people want to cancel you, and we can't control what everybody says.
Yeah,
right. But we can. if we don't tolerate what you're saying, we get you out. And that's what you did. It was instant.
That's, you can't tolerate it. It shouldn't be accepted from anyone. I mean, that was so many people. It doesn't matter. We can't tolerate it, but we can't. And sometimes people let things go, and that can be any, it doesn't matter, any culture. That was a lot of people. Like, everybody has their own things, and that's what makes the world special. Right? Everybody being the same.
You get bored.
Different cultures. Yeah. I mean, goodness gracious. That's diversity is great. We don't want all the same stuff and, different things, different customs from, it's fun.
Yeah.
But some people, the human brain, like people, it's really hard for people.
Yeah. And man, it's just been tough overall. I mean, we don't accept that kind of behavior, but you're the one that ultimately has to deal with it, right? That's the other thing is people don't realize how powerful actions can be and the effect it has on others, not you, because that individual is most likely ruined their life. But imagine how many...
How did they ruin their life? You can shut off your social media and walk away.
Well, it follows you. It follows you.
Yeah, you're out there. I'm like, man, I don't get recognized. But
you certainly felt the majority of the fallout.
Yeah,
I'm
here.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'm here dealing with it. We've used it as a kid huddle up in our kids' Krav Maga classes, and it's a great great discussion for kids, especially the teenagers.
Sure.
That what you put out there on social media is gonna stay out there, and yeah, freedom of speech, say whatever you want, but it has ramifications. Sure. It's going to affect other people in this. Yeah, it's going to affect him. I mean, it affected him because now a place he liked to come and was a big part of is done because of your words. But it's really, affected our reputation and our business. So you gotta, it's the world. You got to be careful of what you say. And I'm not all that, touchy-feely, and this whole political correctness stuff has gone extremely too far, especially in the last 4 years or 5 years. It just continues to get to the extreme with people. But stuff like that is extreme. That's throwing everybody into the bus in a particular race. So I'd like to make another coffee. Take a TV timeout. All right, I've got another Americano. We're good. And Josh was just complaining about having to bleep out that guy. But, I think it was funny. I thought that guy cracked me up.
Part of it's funny, but it really drives me crazy that,
well, there's racists everywhere. There's people that don't like white people. Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to eradicate it, but we can't tolerate it and go, be a martial arts instructor and it's okay. It's going to make people uncomfortable. Yeah. In there. It's even, people going, great. My black belt pictures with this guy. Yeah. And, it affects a whole lot of people going, geez, I mean, YouTube, people are, we've removed some videos that were getting comments on it. And, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, he's in a lot of my ClearSky videos, and I'm going, God, I really don't, just the amount of time it would take to redo those. I mean, I'm leaving them on there for our students, and they'll slowly get buried as we, record other stuff as we go through time here. But yeah, it's tough. I think, it's, other people, thanks for doing it. Hang in there. And I've never been on the edge here. I mean, with anything, I'm like, okay, just roll with it. A couple of times you're like, okay, let me put on my game face and talk to somebody that I don't really feel like talking to on,
you did it
on Sunday and Memorial Day and everything else. And it is what it is. So you just gotta, stuff happens to you. You just gotta roll with it and
move on.
try to learn from it. What's the example? And I think, connecting with so many people that, that whole thing. I'm like, unite. We need, this country needs to be more together as a country, because the ultra elite just railroad us, and you name it, from food to this upcoming election.
You name it.
You got Google people making, like, we've got to do something to fix it. That's out there, people. You can go and fact check that sucker and listen to these Google. That's scary no matter what side you are on. Crazy that we're going to do something to fix this.
Yeah.
Like this tech stuff, man.
World's a dangerous place.
Where's that solar flare?
Yeah, it's a dangerous place.
Suspicious observer. Let's check what out he's saying today. Maybe there's one on the way.
Yeah, well, they said there might be a repeat of the last solar flare event, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, watch this Suspicious Observer on YouTube. He's down in Colorado Springs area.
It's kind of scary stuff.
We've got a carjacking in Castle Rock.
Yeah. So it turns out I want to say it was last weekend, two people were carjacked at gunpoint at one of the local malls around here. I won't say which one, but it
May 23rd.
Okay, so not just 7 days ago, right?
Yeah, the 23rd.
And the thing is that the people who committed the crime got away and are still at large. But I couldn't help but think about all the training that I've done here with you. Like, how would somebody seriously react? What could I do to have prevented that carjacking, right?
Maybe you didn't. It's the whole thing. What could I have done to prevent it?
Yeah.
Well, you could have been aware, possibly,
of
what's going on. Get your, head on a swivel, be looking around, observe, check it out.
Yeah.
What's going on. But you could also just give them the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they said the person went to the hospital with some injuries, non-life-threatening injuries. So they beat him up. Do they whack him? I don't know. We didn't see that in the report. But being aware, you could have walked past your car. You could have walked back into the mall if you felt somebody was following you.
Sure.
Even this was midday, right? Didn't they steal something from a store?
Yeah,
I think there was. I think in the report
I
read that they had stolen something, and then there's three of them. You got three people.
Yeah, I mean, it all escalated too. It starts as a robbery and it turns into a carjacking, right? And the whole thing starts to escalate. And just watching and looking around, it's hard enough just to get my keys out and get in the car sometimes, right? You've got to start looking over the shoulder, and then you got three individuals that walk up. Man, that's like a crap sandwich. You know what
give
I mean?
them the car.
Yeah, nothing's worth your life. Have it all at that point.
I mean, we use that all the time, and especially my teen class. I'm like, okay, you're driving what's your dream car, or whatever it is. All right, now somebody's gonna, give me your car. Are you gonna do a gun defense?
Yeah. Because
they're holding you at gunpoint, you got to give them the car. And somebody's kids, no way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, seriously, if you're going to afford that whatever car, I don't even know it's cool, but I always loved Lamborghinis when I was, in middle school. That if you can afford one, you could probably buy another one. And you should be able to afford insurance. Driving around a car like that, you better have insurance.
Better.
Come on. I mean, what's it worth? I just saw a report on a guy that unloaded on with an AR. I forget where it was. Don't quote me, Texas or Florida.
It's a kind of a 50-50.
I think, and I could be totally wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was one of those two states. And he hit other vehicles. I mean, it might have been his car. I wasn't quite sure on the report I saw on YouTube that, oh my God, he put some rounds in some vehicles.
Which gets you in trouble. You're responsible for those rounds.
When he's driving away and you're shooting at somebody. They are not a threat to you. And shooting somebody over your car and risking shooting somebody else. It's those things that we do in our citizen defender class going, wrap your brain around it. Come on. Be serious in your training. And if you're out there with a firearm, train more. And that's just not going to the range.
Yeah.
That's we drills and doing things that aren't live fire. They're not, it's fun to be at the range, but I have more. We did a little thing on Tuesday, and you guys probably didn't even realize how good it was. There was just 2 people, and one of you guys had a knife or something, and I've been running that little 10-second scenario in my head all week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do that one again because, this guy was doing that, and running those things slow and working your draw. With an inert laser pistol, it gets you reps that your brain doesn't know the difference between the real firearm and that laser.
Yeah, and then all the decisions you got to make in those moments.
Yeah.
Like I was just sitting there going through OODA loops over and over and over, and I've got 2 people here that keep coming at me. I ended up doing a shoot on one, but you're like, I didn't even have a weapon as one of the people. Right?
Yeah,
and
we had that one same day.
And Bill, who's the other training partner, did, but you guys kept walking towards me.
Boom, and boom, boom, boom on me.
Yeah.
And great shots, but I'm like, woo, man, you were justified on one.
Right.
But that other guy was really just being a jerk.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of like, kick his ass. Yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. Whoa, hold on, And now once you went to guns, on everybody in the scenario.
I did.
So I think, you're going to get like that guy, you're justified. And, you kept running it in your head, and I jumped 2 guys, and man, you start rewinding that one. And that other guy I had a good 15, it's close. I had a good 15 feet away from you.
Wow, it felt so much closer.
I was mats away. I was at least 2.5, 3 mats.
And from my perspective, it felt like you were right on top of me, which is the scary part, right? Because I'm just going through these decisions. I don't even know your distance.
Yeah, and I'm not. There was never a blow thrown. I'm just a jackass.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it.
Pizzo used to call everybody back when you could give some kids some hard time in high school.
Well, I've been thinking about it ever since. Like I just keep thinking, what would have been different?
You didn't hesitate on pulling the trigger. You didn't even say stop.
Yeah.
Back up. Don't come any closer. You just went boom, 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 boom. And that's where I feel shooting targets all the time might not be the best thing for a lot of people. And you're going to get a lot of kickback. And you need that live fire. But you need to make the decision on who you're pulling the trigger on, and not just doing a drill where you're shooting friggin' targets really fast. Great. Awesome. But one of those targets was a potential target. I would still say I could have turned that in.
Yeah.
Who knows? You just shot me and I went, whoa, man, I don't have a weapon. I'm just over here being a mouth. Pretty sure I can, say some crap on the sidelines, and people do. You see that all the time in fights and altercations, and people freaking running their mouth from their wife to, their buddy, whatever it is. So they're tough. That's why.
That is really weird that it started by itself.
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
Did we say something?
I don't know. But, it's hard enough trying to pay attention, and this is why we train, to the one threat. Yeah, like I get tunnel vision
mind
still.
3 people.
Yeah.
You're at the outlets at Castle Rock, and now, your day goes to somebody carjacking you.
Yeah.
If you're not out there looking around and trying to be aware, you're in trouble. We just did Murph at the gym. We did a bunch of us wanted to do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Instead of, especially for us, it's an actual long weekend, even though we were, we
still
were
in the gym
on Saturday, and I took freaking phone calls. I don't know how many calls throughout the weekend, but we did that. If you don't know Murph, it's a hero workout from CrossFit. 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, 1 mile run.
Dang.
Now the middle, you can break those 600 reps up into however you want to do it. Mm-hmm. Really popular is just doing a workout called Cindy 5, 10, 15 of each, and you can kind of keep moving, you don't burn out. That's how I've done it for years. It works out. Some people have to break up the push-ups, and that's good. Or some people do half of it, like whatever. Do do whatever.
Yeah, still get the workout.
But I love that workout because I just try to start and end, and no matter how crappy people are getting with their movement, I'm trying to stick to the movement. That I'm not I'm not doing any crappy push-ups. I feel like I got a crappy one, I'll do another one. That you'll see people going half. I actually told one of the guys that was there just he wanted to do it on Monday, so he had come in and just kind of run the mile and was kind of encouraging people. And I told him on one of my little quick breaks, I'm like, hey, if you see any bad movement, known as not RX'd, in that functional fitness world, that let the guys know. And a couple minutes later, when I was in between rounds, he's like, I'm afraid somebody's going to punch me. And I was like, oh, so you're seeing some crappy movement where you're afraid to say something. Okay. That's one that, I will do kipping on the pull-ups, and, it's hundreds a lot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Now you're out. So that was it Saturday? That was Saturday. I don't know if it was the next day or Monday. I cannot remember. So much yard work and phone calls and other things this weekend. But we're down in Colorado Springs. Went to check out a thing in old Colorado City.
Cool.
Supposed to have some music. It was terrible. We basically walked the street, went into a couple stores like, oh, hey, this, I like that street.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stores, a lot of, just mom and pop stores. So we went to a bunch of stores, we're not going to go down there typically. So we went to a few stores, I think Jenny got some tea or something.
It's lost a step over the years.
What's that?
It's lost a step over the years. It used to be a lot of fun. I used to go all the time to some of those events. I'm being aware.
Yeah. Being down there, but man, sometimes after a tough workout, you're tired. You're like, oh man, my legs hurt, looking around and just being aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
At least but we all get caught off guard. We all start looking at something, whatever it is. Jenny and I couldn't make out either one because the guy, he kind of came around to booth. We were going to the other side of the street, walking back. We were all the way down the end of the street. Kind of came into this other guy, seemed pretty clean cut. Didn't, because there were some homeless people around there.
Sure.
And there was some guys like, man, we had to get Josh out of jail last night. He was really pissed. Kind of like it was an everyday occurrence. Versus like, holy crap, you hear what happened to Josh? Man, he ended up in jail. That would be a totally different discussion if we
had to go pick him up again.
These guys hanging out on the sidewalk. But I bumped into him, and he even something about my hair, and I'm like, geez, I don't even have hair like Josh. What? We were just like, that dude was weird. What was that about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, at first I thought he was an old student or something, but then I don't know. I was just like, kind of just like, yeah, cool. Hey, good to see you. He was just weird. Jenny's like, what was that? I'm like, I have no idea. I thought he was just old student.
There's a reality in his head that's not lining up with what I'm seeing.
But he looked totally normal, dude. But walking around after a workout like that,
you're fatigued. You're mentally fatigued. You're physically fatigued.
You're physically fatigued. That's always, oh man, I hope nothing happens after you did Murph and you're sore from Murph. But, to prevent those, I don't think sometimes there's not. It's just trying to be smart.
Yeah.
In the time frame that somebody comes up and they want your car. Yeah. Okay. I think one of my, I think it was Michael Margolin, one of the fastest, man, that guy was fast. Said, teaching one of the first instructors to do, a bunch of gun defense early on in my instructor career. And he had said, I don't have kids, but if I have my niece or nephew or something like that, and they're in the car, then I'm going to defend the gun. I was like, man, this dude's fast. And that's his call. Other than that, you can have the car. But there's people in it. I need to get out. Well, yeah, I'm not going to let you just jump in and now run from the cops or whatever with a kid in the car. I might be like, hey, Josh is in the car. He's on his own, man.
Yeah.
But
he'll be okay.
I'm like, I'm not
I don't
playing,
know. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that one.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
it
giving
feels
you
good.
an opportunity to work some of your training.
Oh, is that what? Okay, cool. Because then I'll just see what I end up after that.
I don't know what's going to happen to you.
I would probably just want to get out of the car. Confrontation.
What is that terrible? Is it Quentin Tarantino, like the Gimp, the guy that's in the...
Oh, the locker?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I don't have to edit this out. Yeah, that was a scary movie. I would not want to end up in that situation.
John thought Josh could handle it because he got carjacked. He's still in the car. I'm like, Josh, the big boy.
Everyone's going to be like, John calling you the Gimp? I don't know.
No, I have confidence in you can at least jump out of the car.
Yeah, like I'm pretty confident I can do that.
Freaking roll. I saw your side fall brakes. They're getting better. I'm like, just fall out of the car. You'll be
right.
Way better than being...
Just don't hit my head and roll.
Well, if you hit your head and then you become the Gimp, at least you won't remember it. And remember, Josh, this is just a simulation, so maybe next time you get away.
Yeah, can I...
They run a,
I'm changing the code. This is awful. I'm recoding the whole thing.
They do it again. Maybe you won't become the Gimp.
But it may... You never know when your training's going to have to kick in, when it does really matter in those moments. You just don't know. You could just be walking to the mailbox. You could just be getting food at a pizza joint, right? You're just walking back to your car with groceries.
Yeah.
You just don't know when something's going to happen. So we always talk about looking for those pre-fight indicators, body language that people are displaying out there, right? You especially is like, keep your head on a swivel, have a good time, but look, pay attention. Don't get buried into something.
Yeah.
Like a book or your phone.
Especially when you're walking out of a store, whatever it may be, or late at night, being aware and doing different things. Yeah. Don't taking the same path every
don't be predictable.
Time. Yeah. That's tough. Even here at the gym, like sometimes I'll open the back door and not go out.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up. That's how, unfortunately, like that's the lockup procedure.
Yeah.
You're going out the back door, going out the front, check the ring, check the cameras before you go down. But it's, have a buddy that leaves with you.
Yeah. Pay attention. Carry a light. I mean, I like to have the flashlight on me most of the time just so I can see. Right. And it's a tactical advantage to be able to shine a light at somebody. I mean, you can keep them at bay.
Yeah.
For a moment, right?
Yeah. If you're coming out or you're just walking, like I got my mother-in-law a flashlight a couple of years ago for Christmas. Like, you're going to walk on the beach and at sunset and you're coming back and it's a little dark.
Yeah.
Having a flashlight that you can at least see and you're being aware.
Yeah.
It's a good self-defense tool.
It is. And there's a lot of you out there who are carrying a pistol who've never actually tried to fight with that weapon, not just at the range, but when somebody starts grabbing you and taking you to the ground and having to hold on to it. Like
it's that New York liquor store owner that discharged the weapon kind of punching or swinging or doing something. And now he discharged his firearm. It's that whole integrating. It's what we do here. And that's again, like we're all about self-defense at Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness. You want to support our podcast, that'd be awesome because Josh has got more editing work on this particular podcast. You can do that at our shop.rmsdf for all our Rocky Mountain gear. And then our online training portal is ClearSky.Training, and it's got a store attached to it as well. You can get the link from there. And, something to be looking out for. It's been a little while, but we have some suck less nutrition products coming soon here that it's been in work, and we're not quite ready to launch it, but we are going to have our own brand for performance, from everything from creatine to men's multivitamins and women's multivitamins, some other good stuff there. So be on the lookout.
And they do make you feel better. They make you feel a lot better overall.
Well, you haven't even tried them yet. Josh, you can't.
It's called the magic of radio. It's called magic.
It's not magic. It's not magic. We're gonna put you on them, though. Yeah, I know you shake your
I'm
head,
ready.
John. I'm like, no, don't. We don't have them out there. This is coming. You haven't gotten them. I like it when Josh gets annoyed. He just looks away.
I just
looks away.
when you got nothing nice to say, just sit there and shut up.
Just shut up.
My wife taught me that one.
Don't lie, Josh. Going to hell.
Get in line. Come on. You think you're the first person to tell me that?
Josh. Don't lie to the audience.
You do, but on supplements, when you do supplements right, it does make a really big difference.
Yes, yeah,
in your life, especially
like
with
looking
performance.
for good quality.
Yeah.
That's been the toughest thing. That's been the toughest thing in this, and we'll see how well it does. I'm always optimistic, but it's a big market, and I think the suck less gets a lot of attention when I wear the shirt out. I think it can gain some traction, and it's supplements that don't suck.
Yeah,
and that was the hardest part of not having crappy stuff that's just okay.
Well, everyone just goes to a Walmart, right? And they just try to pick up the cheapest thing, and you don't know what's in it.
Unfortunately, yeah, so many people
That's
go
the mentality.
cheap. They look for this self-defense class is this cheap.
Which is also
this
crazy.
CCW is so cheap. I'm going to do that because it's the cheapest option. Are you going to the cheapest dentist?
All right. You want quality. You want somebody, if you're learning self-defense, I want to learn from somebody who knows what they're doing, not that one guy that does the Detroit whatever self-defense on YouTube, right?
That's legit, Josh.
I still can't tell if he's being serious or not serious sometimes. Yeah. And I'm just like, really? You're going to tell somebody to do that? Like, at some point, I'm like, if this is a joke, now it's dangerous joke, right? Because people are paying attention to it.
Well, so it's more hits than anything else. And it's that, I don't know, it's a big waste. I don't know. Get off of this thing, go out there and do something real. Hopefully you were driving or doing some other mundane task like cooking. I listen to podcasts and I'm cooking or doing some cleaning or something like that, folding laundry, that type of stuff. But get out there, do something real, stay on track. It's worth it, to be in shape. You're going to feel better just mentally. You're going to feel better about yourself being prepared. And you got to train more to suck less. Otherwise, you are sucking. You are going in the negative because you're not doing it. It doesn't matter how far you've come. We all get rusty. You talk to pro fighters, and everybody gets rusty when you're not training and not doing those things. So get in, find a good quality martial arts place. What we do here is self-defense and street fighting. We want to be ready for the ground. We want to be ready for stand-up. We want to be ready for weapon threats. And we want to be functionally fit. I always say it. Nobody cares. I was yelling at the teenage class. I'm like, nobody cares that you're tired. Nobody cares that you're weak. So they don't care. What are you going to call your mom?
Right.
You're getting your ass beat. You've got to be in shape, train. That's what we're all about here at RMSDF. All right, guys. I appreciate you listening. Share with a friend. Give us a thumbs up and all that other stuff here. You guys know what to do. Have a good day, guys. Train more, suck less.